Can we get full-time Bully Aspinall after this smear campaign? How are you going to be on the comeback?
Right, when I come back, there is no more Mr. Nice Guy. Nice Tom. When it comes to MMA, he's gone. And I'm going full bad guy, I think.
I feel as Tom's a great athlete, but I do feel like he's a one-trick pony.
When you look at people talking shit online of like, oh, you know, he's ducking this guy or he's dodging this guy, they haven't seen the work that you've done in the past and how dominant you've been. We know you're not ducking this guy. I mean, talk to me about what you saw in his fight with Gane. I mean, because Gane looked like he was controlling the fight.
Once Rogan?
Yeah.
I believe that his wrestling and jiu-jitsu is incredibly overrated. He has a beautiful 1-2. I got to learn a lot about his patterns in his last fight. Beautiful 1-2. That's really about it. He couldn't touch Cyril Gane at all. That's the way I felt. I felt like Gane was just getting warmed up. Gane's hands was down. He was shaking his shoulders, bouncing around.
He was touching him.
That jab.
He busted him open.
He was so comfortable.
I think Tom was looking for a way out, and he took it. He needs to change his game plan.
When Tom gets hurt, he's like immediately...
Heavyweight division is alive once again. Centered on two names, Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall. But this time the energy feels darker and the stakes higher than anything in recent memory. After weeks of being mocked, dismissed, and called a quitter for the eye poke that ended the fight before it truly began, Aspinall has finally broken his silence. Responding to Jones with a raw mix of honesty, frustration, and cold fury that few expected from a man known for his professionalism and humility. Ever since Cyril Gane's accidental eye poke left Aspinall unable to continue, Jones has treated the entire situation like a running joke, igniting a tension that now defines the division.
Dana White saying Tom didn't continue.
Tom didn't want to continue in the fight, so.
And then also, who gives it to eye pokes?
Who gives it?
Well, listen, I didn't continue. I'll tell you why I didn't continue. Because I'm not a dummy. Like, I'm not going to go out there and fight one of the best strikers in the world if I can't see. I know, as an MMA fighter, look, things are going to happen in the fight that compromise you. Go back and watch my fight with Arlovski. The end of the first round, he punched me right in the eyeball.
Final 20 seconds of the first round. Oh, big right from Arlovski.
For the rest of that fight, I couldn't see him out that eye. That's fine. If you get punched or kicked in the eye, that's fine. If you get double eye poked in both eyes and you've got no vision because of a foul, why should I carry on so some dummy can look and say, oh yeah, Tom just got knocked out? Because I ain't gonna...
His whole life to become UFC heavyweight champion, this was the way it was announced.
Jon Jones called us last night and retired. Jon Jones is officially retired. Tom Aspinall is the heavyweight champion of the UFC.
All right, Dana, calm down. Don't get too excited. And that was in the middle of the night in some random ass UFC press conference. No ceremony, no celebration, no congratulations, Tom. We've got the best young fighter in the world. It was as if no one gave a fuck from the UFC. It was so bad. And I get Dana was pissed because he'd been made to look a fool by Jon Jones, but that was never Tom Aspinall's fault. Tom just wanted to fight the best guy he possibly could. And you'd think MMA fans would love that. There's a fighter who's trying to fight the best, wants to win the title, wants to defend the title and be an active heavyweight champion, something we've not had in God knows how long in the UFC. But no, because Jon Jones weirdly has a lot of fans who want to see him protected and not get his chin smashed to bits, they supported the guy who ran away from the fight and trashed Tom consistently. What a weird fan base.
I think that because I think that he should box because it's more money, that affected him in the fight. I've never heard as much as people saying what I say affects Tom in a fight. I say loads of things to loads of people. People who are around me all the time know that. Boxers are around me all the time. It's just because of the money. And it's the back to, if your son was a fighter, would you sooner him fight for a ton of money or not a ton of money? It's a no-brainer, but people still have a narrative of what...
Jon Jones began calling Tom Aspinall fragile and a quitter, laughing at him online and acting as if the injury was proof he never deserved the heavyweight spotlight. A reaction that stunned the MMA community because everyone remembers the truth when Aspinall was healthy. Surging through the rankings and begging for the fight, Jones vanished from the conversation for an entire year. No negotiations, no training footage, nothing, and only when Aspinall was hurt did Jones suddenly find the time. The jokes.
It's still a little bit blurry. The other part of this eye is blurry.
But the main thing that's bothering me at the minute is double vision.
When he's looking up and in, the left eye is going up and in extremely well. The right eye is kind of stopping. You see how the right eye is just not as high up as the left, and that's a restriction. So the eye wants to go and he wants to track it, but the more I do this, the more he's going to start aching in that upper inner aspect. And what he's going to do is, if he's in a fight situation, he's not going to be dealing with it. He doesn't want the ache in the eye, and he also doesn't want to have double. So what he's going to do is tilt his head. So that's on that side. If you look at the left, which should be matching it, so you're looking across, up, 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 as much as you can. And you can see how, again, with the right eye, it's up and out, but the left eye is just not able to go as extremely up as possible.
When I got poked in the eye, obviously, and then people were like, his eye wasn't even red. Does your eye always go red when there's something wrong, or is that?
You can absolutely lose your vision without having a painful red eye. So you don't need a red eye to have blurred vision at all. So no.
Yeah. So how long till I can train properly, spar?
It's a long road ahead, but the prognosis is guarded at the moment. I would recommend that you wouldn't fight until your double vision's resolved.
So for Tom, unfortunately, and even his dad said this, he's like, Tom has 3 fights left on his contract, and then we're going to get a boxing super fight. We're out of here. Because think about it. Let's say he beats Rogan, right? So we're never seeing that again. Who else would you pay to see him fight? Now it's gonna be free on
only Jon Jones, only.
Yeah, so he has 3 fights left. So you're gonna get Cyril Gane, he'll get the winner of Alex John, which happened at the White House, and then maybe fight if he loses that, which he will if it's John. If he were to lose that, he fights the loser of John versus Alex. Those are your 3 fights from Tom. And then you go to box, because let's say he re-signed for 6 fights. Who are you gonna watch him fight? Volkov, or he beat him.
Are you
Pavlich, or he beat him.
Yeah.
Curtis Blades, he beat him.
Yeah.
Almeida, he doesn't deserve to be in the top 5. Acosta, those top fucking, besides Curtis Blades, 2 through 15 aren't even in the top 25 of this 2015. So for Tom, he was born at the wrong fucking time.
Said that you wanted a boxing champion.
Yeah, for sure.
You're okay with an MMA champion, but you wanted a boxing champion.
Boxing for sure. The money's more money.
Yeah.
More money. Why not?
Would that be an outcome for him? No.
There's 3 more fights on the contract now.
Okay. So
and I don't want to sign a new contract. We only ever think 1 fight. Cyril, win, lose, next fight.
I'm excited to say Andy told me Tom will be a boxing champion by 2028.
And of course, it's been pretty interesting, all the stuff that Jon Jones has been saying to the media this week, and I'm sure there's more to come, but check out these.
You're beating guys who aren't even champions, and you consider yourself a champion. He's not a champion.
So Jon said I need to fight more champions, but this is the problem I've got. Jon is the champion, and he won't fight me. And he says that he won't fight me because it's too much of a gamble.
Aspinall to me is no difference than an Owen St. Prude or Dominic Reyes or Anthony Smith. Be like just another up and comer that's exciting right now. And I'm not into gambling my legacy for what's exciting.
And Jon, if you're not into gambling your legacy, that to me sounds like you're scared of losing against.
Joe Rogan didn't hold back either, blasting the entire situation on his podcast and calling the heavyweight division a circus absolute mess of egos, retirements, excuses, and contradictions. He questioned how Jon Jones could ignore Aspinall for a full year, then suddenly act eager to fight the moment Aspinall got injured, saying the division now feels frozen and suffocated by drama instead of real competition. Rogan pointed out the uncomfortable truth. The UFC can't build momentum at heavyweight when its biggest star keeps dipping in and out of retirement, demanding impossible scenarios like fighting on a White House card while refusing to face the most deserving challenger. He said it plainly, the sport is suffering because the champion who should have defended his belt never did. The interim champion who earned his spot was mocked for an injury he couldn't control. And even the UFC president is openly frustrated by all of it. With Dana White still furious that Jon Jones pulled out of the original Tom Aspinall fight, despite receiving the biggest heavyweight contract offer in UFC history.
Questions, never been out of the first round, a lot of questions, but never been out of the first round because you fuck everybody up in the first round. Like, that's a factor.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I really wanted to see that fight, but also at the same time, I appreciated, I forget which interview it was recently, but Jon was pretty honest in it. He was like, look, man, like, I don't want to fight up and coming tough guys. He was like, I want to fight guys with seasoned champions that have names. And I was like, that could also be interpreted as you don't really want to fight kind of the best guys that there are right now. Right. You want to fight like a certain category of fighter who you're comfortable fighting, but you don't want to fight the guys that are tough and that are saying that you're going to win. And that's okay, but that's essentially how I interpreted what he was saying in different words, which I appreciated the honesty.
Well, it's also money fights, right?
Yeah.
Because I think he's wrong, because I think Aspinall's a star. I really do.
Yeah, I do too.
I think he's saying, who is he? He's not no one. Aspinall's a star.
Fight him. You tapped out. That's the biggest quit in the history of the UFC. When the supposed GOAT won't even show up for a fight. That's the biggest bitch move in UFC history. So you got no room to fucking talk, mate. Embarrassing. If I was you, I would never mention his name ever again, mate. Because you don't want people to remember that the GOAT wouldn't even show up, man.
My village, I can't go on.
He doesn't have the dog in him. Yeah, that kill or be killed.
Yeah, he definitely doesn't have the kill or be killed, does he? His finishes are the fastest finishes we've ever seen consecutively. Just not a killer.
Immediately quits.
He immediately quits. I mean, he is unable to continue when he has two of the worst possible injuries an MMA fighter can ever have. Yeah, he can't continue. Believe me, I'm happy to call out a fighter if they're fucking like, giving up in there or whatever. That ain't what happened at all, man. Come on. And Jon Jones knows it, which is what makes this even more tragic. Like, are you going to be talking about this guy when you're like 60 years old? He probably will be, because his achievements are all that he has in life. Like, it's very clear that he can't just like pat another guy on the back. He's got to hold this grudge so bad.
The doctors has confirmed that he's got some issues with his eyeballs. He's got some soft tissue damage to the eyeballs, and that will happen when a 6'6" Frenchman sticks both of his fingers knuckle deep into your eyeballs, okay? So that's not surprising. But what is surprising is that he has something called Brown syndrome, which basically is where the eyes aren't moving in tandem with one another. So therefore, the eyes, which are basically cameras, right, for your brain, in case you don't know, they're seeing different images. And when you see different images, you see double, or maybe sometimes the brain cuts out one of the images so that it doesn't get confusing and you don't get headaches and stuff like that. And then, of course, when you're only seeing through one eye, you have problems with depth perception.
Situation looked like Curtis Blades came to beat Tom Aspinall up that night. Tom throws a kick and magically gets hurt. I would expect a fighter to at least attempt to stand back up or at least limp. And with Tom, he was just completely out of the fight. And his last situation was Cyril Gane. He gets poked in the eye. Normally you see fighters that are doing this number, trying to get the doctor to look at it. And actually, initially, the doctor's just like, he seems fine. Tom's like, no, I can't see. I can't. The guy wasn't trying to see. Yeah. The guy didn't want to see. The eye that he was covering appeared to be the eye that actually didn't get penetrated. One eye finger goes all the way underneath the eyelid. The other eye, it was on top of the eyelid. And he ends up grabbing the eye where the finger was on top of the eyelid. I don't even think Tom really knew which eye was supposed to be more compromised. He just knew that he had been fouled and it was his way out. So that alone shows me a little bit what's behind the facade of this whole Tom Aspinall.
Dana White hasn't forgotten Jones pulling out, which is why he instantly shut down the White House card idea and made it clear the UFC has moved on. That's the chaos Tom Aspinall is returning to a division filled with drama, retirements, injuries, and stalled momentum. But Tom's message was simple. No more apologies, no more excuses, no more nice guy. When he's healed, he's coming back with a new intensity. And the big question is whether Jon Jones will finally face him or disappear again once Tom becomes dangerous. The heavyweight division is alive, chaotic, and now waiting for Tom's return.